Hi, it's Becky from Power Tools with Thread, and I'm getting ready to prep a backing for a quilt that I am about to put on the long arm. And I thought I'd take you through my process of how I prep most of my backings for larger quilts. I'm not talking about quilts for little bitty things, but if you are doing what I would call a cuddle quilt, the majority of the quilts that I make are lap size, maybe a little bit larger, and this is just a really easy way to do that size of quilt. If you're doing queen or king, it's a little bit different because you have to piece them differently in order to get enough width. But if you have a quilt that has a width under 80 inches, maybe even 82, 80 really at the max, then this is just a really simple, easy, no math method. So for most quilts, I will buy 4 yards of backing. And when you buy 4 yards of backing, I'm talking standard, not a 108. But when you buy backing off the bolt, it is usually folded in half by the store, or you can fold it in half yourself. Here I have 4 yards of this fabric. It's called Vintage Whisper from Santa by Lucy Crovato for Studio E Fabrics. And I've just got it folded in half here. And I always make sure to have the selvage edge closest to me. So this is 2 layers. Let me pull this back so you can see this is 2 layers. So the big long width folded in half. I try to get the ends pretty close to even. Again, this is a no math method. I'm going to pull it all the way down so that the fold is on my cutting mat. And I want the edge of the fabric, I want the selvage edge to be straight on a line so that I'm not making a big crooked cut. So that's pretty close. So I'm just going to take my big ruler here and I'm going to put it right up here to this edge. Again, I talked about the width of the quilt. That's really the determining factor. With 4 yards, you'll have enough top and bottom for most lap quilts, or maybe just a little bit bigger. So, all right, and I am keeping the ruler straight with the ruler on the mat. And I'm just going to cut this off. Now, this particular fabric is directional, and you have to pay attention to that. Let me make sure I cut that. Did I get that? Maybe I need to do this one more time. Again, no math method. I just cut it a little bit shallow there on the end. There we go. Okay. So this fabric is directional, and you have to pay attention to that. If it's not directional fabric, you don't have to do this step, but if it is, then what you're going to do is take 1/2 of this piece, one of these pieces now, and it is folded, and you're going to put it and flip it around end to end. That's important to do that. So get this back. I'm going to go ahead and get it even again here, and what I want to do is get my selvages even. Okay, so I want these 4 pieces of selvage, 4 edges to be even. So now that I have that top piece flipped 180 degrees, all I need to do is open up these selvage edges right here. So I have layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, and layer 4. I'm going to take layers 2 and 3 and I'm going to pin them together. And I'm going to pin them together. And about every 6 inches or so. I'm just going to pin them together and go all the way down. Now that I have my backing pinned together, I'm going to look at the selvage edge and choose the side that has the widest bit of the white. And I'm going to go over to the sewing machine and I'm going to run the edge of my presser foot right down along the edge of the white selvage so that I'm 1/4 of an inch away from the white. Now I'm going to take this back to the cutting table and I'm going to cut 1/4 inch away from the line that I just stitched and trim off the selvage. And now I'm going to fold it in half to make sure that my ends are all even. So I can put these together. If you have a short side, like here I have an obvious short side, put that to the outside so you can see it. Because when you get fabric off the bolt, it's not always straight. And that's okay. We're just getting this nice and straight. And you can see here how we've got uneven edges, and that's okay. Now I'm going to straighten those up. Again, make sure your edge selvages are straight and even together. And you want to cut into the shortest part. So I'm making sure my ruler is exactly, a line on my ruler is exactly on a line on my cutting mat. And I'm just moving this over to make sure I can catch the smallest edge. And make sure those are straight. Okay, and I want this edge straight here on a line on the mat. This is ready to be pressed, so that's how easy it is to make a quilt backing with no math. We'll talk to you soon. You guys go sew something. Bye.